Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs.
As someone who watches sports from the sidelines, my only really exposure I get to the sports world is through others. I did try years ago to try to get into some esports when I got super into Overwatch. Yet, still, even Overwatch League really didn't click with me. However, the one big event that I attend every single year is that big ol' Super Bowl party. Yes, for years, my family has put on this big ol' extravaganza for this little thing that happens once a year. Even though I'm not into sports, there's still things to love about it. With cheap fast food pizza, copious amounts of Mountain Dew, and nachos. Well, on second thought, they're not really nachos. They're more like Doritos that we put shredded cheese on and put in the microwave. But depending on what you qualify as nachos, there's no way to have a true Blain family gathering unless you assemble the Avengers of fast food. It's kind of like Thanksgiving, well, except it's planned by your college roommate who listened to a little bit too much Limp Bizkit.
Just one of those days, feel like a freight train.
For years, many households have been hit with this party. Of course, this year is kind of an entirely different beast. I know I personally won't be going to any parties this year. And because of that, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch this game. Even though I know a lot of you out there are going to be watching this most anticipated game between the, let's see, what did I write down? The Kansas City guys and the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's. That's what it is. But for people like me who would rather watch paint dry than to seek out here are 6 sports games that are going to be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining, than the Super Bowl. Captain Tsubasa, Rise of New Champions. Going from American football to, well, actual football, Captain Tsubasa brings a whole new perspective on the typical sports genre. Have you ever thought to yourself, damn, I do love FIFA. I just wish it had 110% more anime. Well, Captain Tsubasa has you covered there. Based on the anime and manga of the same name, Rise of New Champions is a fun new arcade anime take on the sports genre. Rise of New Champions released last year to moderate praise, but it immediately caught my eye due to its ridiculous shonen strike cutscenes. Gone are the fouls and simulation of FIFA in order to bring you more simple and arcadey take. Admittedly, gameplay-wise, it doesn't really offer too much. However, the sheer bonkers nature of it all really makes me want more games in this style. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Now this is entertainment. Anyone who's been on the channel as long as I've been on here knows my fascination with not only Star Wars, but its celebrated pastime of Podracing. Now I know, at first glance, Episode 1 Racer doesn't look like much by today's standards, which is really why I want Lucasfilm to hopefully work on a new game. Come on, let's make it happen. But for fans of high-octane racers like Wipeout and F-Zero, this is one that you can't miss. I suppose there is one thing that does have over Episode 1 Racer, and that's the commercials. Think about the enjoyable time of you beating that Boonta Eve Classic, and then, out of nowhere, an ad for Ben Quadranero's new line of power coupling comes up. Now that's a comeback story I want to see. Just the fact alone that Episode 1 Racer has a score by the legendary composer John Williams makes it better than Super will ever be. Rocket League. Okay, so this one, easily more entertaining than any sport, period. Once you throw in cars that have so much nitrous it would make even Vin Diesel blush, I think you've objectively won. Like really, think about it. Would you rather play with players or cars that are hot as hell? And as of this recording, the NFL has teamed up with Rocket League to bring you all the football teams. You got your new mode Gridiron, which is just basically football with Rocket League. And on top of that, you can play out your own Super fantasies. So why wouldn't you want to play Rocket League instead of the Super Bowl? Again, would you rather watch a couple of players play with the old pigskin? Or would you rather watch it with a car that is souped up with nitrous to fly everywhere and hit things. I think there's a clear winner here, guys. Wii Sports. So easy, even grandma could play it. That was the motto of the Wii at its 2006 launch, and subsequently, the industry's biggest pack-in title to date, Wii Sports. I mean, sure, is this immensely entertaining when it wants to be? Of course. But you gotta admit it to yourself. It's nothing compared to watching your grandma almost throw the Wiimote through the TV that one Christmas just because she was that close to getting the bowling high score and forgot her Wiimote wrist strap. I mean, doesn't that sound better than an old man trying to relive his glory days? I don't know about you, but I sure think so. Ribbit King. Okay, I want you to get into the imagination bubble. Okay, we're in the imagination bubble? Okay. Now imagine, if you will, a dimension in which golf never existed. Instead, the game of suburban dads everywhere is something called golf. If that sounds cool to you, then you might want to check out the GameCube classic that is Ribbit King. Ribbit King's main objective is a game called Frolf. It's a fictional sport in which you have to lead a frog around the course by launching it off a catapult to collect points until you send the frog into its hole. A very odd game that fans of Katamari Damacy would appreciate. Its uniqueness and sports-adjacent status is what gives it its charm. Ribbit King is like the super for indie vaporwave kids who listen to only the best synthwave and lo-fi beats. Sunset Overdrive. Okay. I know what you're thinking. This one really isn't a sport, and it's kind of a stretch to think it is. However, I remember this game being called Tony Hawk with Guns a lot, so I will make an exception to the rule. And really, this one's just to round out the feeling of a super party. The people who like the Mountain Dew and nachos side of a super. Either way, I'm giving it my seal of approval. Sunset Overdrive is a balls-to-the-wall action game where movement is just as key as the gunplay. Even without something like a skateboard, Sunset Overdrive is hella acrobatic and versatile in terms of its traversal. Sunset Overdrive is an energy drink-fueled thrill ride that is almost like being at a party, so this one might fill the void this holiday season. Well, there you have it. 6 games that I believe will be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining, as the Super.
Trademarked by football.
There's a couple of bumps along the road there, but if you want that overall party feeling that you won't really get this year, then these games are meant for you. If you like this video, maybe subscribe, and maybe leave a comment of a sports game that you think is more entertaining than the Super Bowl. Finally, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.